Gemini, which twin will you listen to? If you're a first time watcher, I'm Lamarr Townsend. I'm a natural intuitive, clairvoyant, clairaudient, empathic, psychic tarot reader, and I would love to do a personal, private, confidential psychic tarot reading for you, Gemini, or a birth chart reading. I also do birth chart readings, so please contact me at lamarrtownsendtarot.com for your own personal, private, confidential psychic tarot reading. I'm sorry, I see one of my curls. A lot of my curls are sticking up, actually. I'm sorry, Gemini. Also, sorry about that. Oh my gosh. Alright, sorry. So unprofessional. Alright, that's way better though. I had alfalfas. Okay. Also, please check out my blog on my website, lamarrtownsendtarot.com. I'm sorry about that. I'm such a Virgo rising. I mean, everything has to be perfect. But please check out my website, lamarrtownsendtarot.com, where you can purchase your own website. Purchase your own personal tarot reading, your own birth chart reading, your personal private confidential tarot reading, your personal private confidential birth chart reading. Check out my blog. Also follow me on Instagram at Lamarr Townsend. Like me on Facebook, facebook.com/Lamarr Townsend official. If you enjoy this video, like this video, share with your friends and family, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, okay? I really appreciate you and your support. Gemini, which twin are you going to listen to? Now, let's state the obvious. Gemini is symbolized by the twins, right? So there's one twin, and then there's another twin. Gemini is an air sign ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is the planet of communication, intellect. It rules communication, intellect, higher learning. How we like to communicate with others and how we prefer others to communicate with us. And Gemini can definitely are known to be kind of flighty, kind of flip floppy. Here, one day, gone the next. Wanting to do it one day, wanting to not do it the next. And there's a need for consistency. When it comes to Gemini, right? For you, Gemini, there's a need for consistency in what you do and in your behavior. There may be even a need for consistency in your schedule. I find a lot of Geminis um, can sometimes have a kind of like inconsistent, weird, unpredictable schedule. And it's important to find consistencies, and balance in your life, Gemini. And it starts with figuring out which twin is the right twin to listen to, right? Because no twin is the same, right? One twin has its own intentions, the other twin has, its own intentions. And it can be difficult for a Gemini to choose, right? I get it. My mom is a Gemini, so I grew up with a Gemini mom. My current boss and one of my actually really, really good friends is a Gemini, and we actually get along really well. I'm a Capricorn. My moon is in Libra, though, so I have prominent air in my chart, so I guess I get along with all air signs, really, for the most part. Um, but yeah, I get it, I get it, it can be difficult to kind of really decipher which is the right one I should listen to. Should I listen to this one or that one? I get it, but it starts within. It starts with you, right? It starts with knowing yourself and knowing your truth. And from there, knowing your truth, your values, your standards, what you stand for, what you will and won't accept, that's a foundation. That's a start, right? To kind of navigate the world and interactions and social interactions with, right? Our truth, our value, our core values, our beliefs, right? So that's a good place to navigate from. But then life is just so, like, unpredictable. And, people are so unpredictable. People's behavior is so unpredictable. So, no day is the same. We can plan all we want to for life, but life is going to happen anyway. Life is going to do what it wants anyway, right? And so when life throws stuff at us, which it's constantly doing, it's constantly throwing new stuff at us, whether it's people that's trying us on the road, people trying us at work, our kids, our partners, our relationships, our family. It's just, life is just crazy, right? And so with all these, decisions and choices and interactions we have, it can be difficult to know which is the right decision for each individual situation, right? But if we go back to our core values, our core belief system, our standards, our truth, we can start from there, right? We can start basing our decision from that, right? But then we bring in that Gemini twin aspect, where we are able to see, both sides, both, interpretations, both perspectives, both outcomes, both consequences, at the same time. Well, if I do this, but if I do it this way, but if I don't do it, and I do this instead, which is the right decision, right? And then you have to make it quick. We live in such a quick world, right? Like, life is going so fast, like, all the freaking time. Things are changing at a constant, pace. Okay, I'm making that decision, that decision, that decision, that decision. But then you have to follow through with those decisions, right? That follow through, that's a tough one for Gemini sometimes. The follow through. It's that consistency, right? But if we had made the decision from the jump, listening to the right twin from the jump, maybe the follow through wouldn't be so hard. Because I'm sure there are a lot of times, Gemini, where you make a decision, a quick decision, and you're like, oh yeah, I'll be there. Totally. But when the time comes, you're like, ugh, like, I don't want to go. I'm not in the mood. I had a long day. I don't feel like hearing Susie and John talk about their relationship and, their white picket fence. I'm just not in the mood today. But you said you'd be there. And when you don't show up, if you don't show up, you're exactly, who they say you are. That just flighty Gemini who says they're going to show up, but they don't. Just unpredictable, unreliable, right? But they don't get it. It's the twins. Like, I just wanted to make the right decision, but I couldn't. And it's just life. Like, but they don't get it. They're not in your head. They're not you, right? I get it. Because I grew up with a mom as a Gemini and got to experience that kind of behavior firsthand. And you're like watching from the sidelines, like, oh, it's almost like a movie. You're like, Gemini, what are you doing? No, like, this is the worst decision ever. What are you thinking? Like, I don't understand your behavior right now, but I'm not you, right? I don't have the twin thing going on. I don't have any like Gemini going on in my chart, hardly, as far as I know. I'm gonna have to take another look at my birth chart actually, but as far as prominent, no. But I grew up with a mom as a Gemini. So, which is the right twin to listen to? It starts with knowing yourself, therefore, trusting yourself, and therefore trusting your intuition, and having a grasp on that. And then from there, it's having sight, clear sight, long vision, which is the right decision that will benefit me Not just right now, but in the long term. 10 years from now. 20, 30, 40, 5, How will this benefit me? How will this affect me 10, 25, 30, years from now? But remember, we're basing this off our truth, our core values, our belief system, right? And then from there, I think it'll be a lot easier to quickly decide which twin to listen to. Because then it's like you listen to one twin and maybe you make the wrong decision and things kind of fall apart, and then you feel bad because you're like, oh man, I listened to this twin though, and they don't get it though. They don't get it. They just don't get it. You know, they just see it as you made a bad decision, which maybe is true. Maybe it's true. But they don't see it from your perspective, right? Because most people aren't air signs. They aren't a Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius who are more easily able to see different perspectives, especially Libra and Gemini, because the air signs just deal with kind of social justice and humanity, so this is becoming a different topic, but different video. But Gemini, which twin will you listen to? The choice is yours. But the more of a grasp you have on yourself, the less of a grasp the twins will have on you. Yeah, let that simmer for a little bit. Alright? Thank you for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If it gave you some clarity or insight, peace, serenity, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share with your friends and family. I'm sorry. The weather's been really weird today. Rain today. It's been like humid. And I noticed that like some people react weirdly to the weather. Like my Gemini friend, my boss, she gets headaches when it like rains, like in the weather, like the atmosphere changes. Sometimes my skin reacts really weirdly. Now it just seems like I have allergies. I don't know. Anyways, that being said, maybe you can relate. I don't know. Contact me at lamarrtownsendtarot.com for your own personal, private, confidential psychic tarot reading or your own birth chart reading. Also, follow me on Instagram, like me on Facebook, and I hope to hear from you soon, okay, Gemini? Thank you for listening and watching. I appreciate you and your support. Until next time.